Welcome back. We've got the PPS buy signals pulled up here. It's a person's pivot study, I believe, the PMC and the PMO. But if we ever wonder what a study is, we can always come right in here and look it up. So let's look up the PPS. Come over to our question mark, and we'll click on it. Oh, come on. Let's see, add view. There we go. Now, the person's pivot study is a bullish and bearish momentum indicator. In addition, it has two proprietary moving average settings that help visualize either a bullish or bearish market condition. When an arrow points up and prices as defined by the close and or the open and close relationship of each respective time period is above both moving average values, traders can look to take trades from the long side. Inversely, when an arrow is pointing down and the close and or the open and close relationship of each respective time period is below both moving average values, traders can look to take trades from the short side. Okay. This aids in determining trend, as the moving averages in an uptrend will act as support and in a downtrend will act as resistance. Okay, when combined with person's pivots, the PPS study helps to confirm trades against the predetermined support and resistance target levels. All right. Very descriptive. Now, for the PMC. All right. That's the person's market catcher. Okay, is a variation on relative strength comparative analysis of one market versus the S&P 500 on a percentage change basis. All right. Okay, the study uses a moving average component to help identify if there is a trend developing in performance over time. Its zero-line histogram component represents a market's relative strength or weakness in 4 stages. Okay, now we've talked about 4 different stages, but these are the next 4 that we need to address. Now, this is going to be outperforming, weakening, lagging, and improving. Okay, now these are similar to the 4, and we'll get to those. Okay. All right. And the PMO. All right, and whatever the CPMO is, let's add that in there too. All right, the price momentum oscillator is a ROC-based study developed by Carl Swinlin. PMO is essentially one bar rate of change, relative momentum consequently smoothed by 2 exponential moving averages. In addition to the main plot, the PMO study also shows a signal line. The PMO line smoothed again by a 3rd exponential moving average. I see. Another mathematical loop-de-loo just to create your own indicator. I can understand that. Okay. I can't necessarily say that's what it is, but I mean, it's a mathematical loop-de-loo for sure. Okay. And let's see what the CPMO is. All right. The compare price momentum oscillator. All right. Developed by Vitaly Apirin. It allows comparison of relative strength of 2 stocks or indexes based on Carl Swinlin's price momentum oscillator for both of the specified symbols. Okay, stocks or indexes. Okay, the study plots a PMO line and a signal line. The 4 lines can then be analyzed in relation to each other and the 0 level to make sure the comparison is possible. The same input parameters are used when calculating PMO lines and signal lines for both symbols. Okay. It's a lot to take in, but we're going to check it out here. All right, so our PMO and our CPMO. All right, now this CPMO I can see being useful in certain situations. So we'll get to those comparative indicators here soon. So we're going to get rid of that. All right, we're not gonna do too many of those comparative indicators, but we can see these different times in the market when we see it to be, say, outperforming and then outperforming but lagging, and then underperforming and then underperforming and improving. Okay, but this PMO here seems to operate a lot like a DMA does. Okay, now the DMA is very similar to this. All right. And we can see these 4 different stages here as the colors change from red to more of a kind of a chartreuse pinkish color here. Then we get the cyan and then dark blue again. Okay, so we get outperforming the market. Then we get outperforming but slowing down. Then you get underperforming the market, and then you get underperforming but improving. Okay, now let's take a look at another indicator. We're going to come up here and we're going to grab, now we can grab a TTM indicator, we can grab an awesome oscillator. All right, the idea is that I want to be able to see the buying and selling action. Okay, so let's do this with, let's just say, the awesome oscillator at first. Okay, all right, and we're going to stack that right on top of our PMO. So we're going to take our PMO and drag it down and drop it right on top of the awesome oscillator. All right, now with the awesome oscillator, we do get to see these periods of buying. Then we see a period of selling. What we don't really see here, but we do see it start to underperform, not really shown here. So we're getting different types of information here. All right. Now, if we had the TTM up here, we would also see similar action. Okay. But you will notice that from the 0 line, and when a histogram goes above 0, that's, green. Okay, when it starts to slow down, it turns red, all right, as selling happens. More selling than buying, all right. And as it drops below the 0 line, more red, all right. And when buying continues, it takes over, okay. Just as, it shows its market is improving, from here on as well. So both of these indicators show similar information, they just show it in a slightly different way. So it's up to you on which one you want to use and which one you want to put scans out on and things like that also. Now, who makes this awesome oscillator? That could be a good question. Oh, I didn't want another one. Between the 34 and 5 period simple moving average. Okay, well, that's pretty typical. And let's get rid of the extra one that we put up there. And many of these indicators, move on similar moving averages. That's where they get their data from. But here, with the PMO plotted right on top of it, or even if we put the PMO on top of the PMC. Okay, so let's take the PMO, drag and put it on top of the PMC here. And now, if we were to follow that as a trading indicator, we would get some very, very reliable signals. So hit that like button, subscribe, stick around for a whole bunch of stuff. I will see you in the next video.